yet when I'm not around you how strong your accent is.
Well, and I also had a glass of wine, which brings it out a little bit more. So, you know.
Excellent. It's a good thing then.
I finished
All right, so let's dig in. Let's see what the heck is happening with this squad here. Thanks, Bethany. I love digging in with coaches. You're a rock star, so I'll always carve out time for you to get this team rocking at the next level. So give me a little recap here. I know I asked you to share some themes with me about what the team might be struggling with. And it's funny, when you sent them over, I was just like, yep, all common themes, all common struggles with multiple teams across the board. But the reality is it's the shit that people get stuck on, that if they don't figure out those pieces, zero chance of success, zero. So we got to be honest about overcoming these things. We got to be truthful about what's in the way, what's holding them up, whether it's our mindset, our beliefs, our behaviors, our practices, which is typically those four things. But we're going to dig into them and see what we can discuss about them. Little round table, have conversations. I don't want this to just be a monologue. I want to be able to be like, tell me what you're going through, and let's see if we can pick it apart. And in that, we'll coach the whole team. Give me 1 second as I realize the gardeners are here.
Oh, my gardeners are here too.
Oh yeah. My pool boy.
I'll be back. What pool boy's here?
Okay.
Hold on.
And Bethany, you gave them the Vito disclaimer.
I gave them the
This
disclaimer.
might not be fun.
I
This
told
could hurt.
them to put their children to bed or put in headphones.
Yes, headsets on if you have small children. Otherwise, they will learn new words from me, and I'm not responsible for what they walk away saying. But also that, if it's necessary, we might do a little tough love coaching here. That, if that's not what you're in for or whatnot, I'm not offended. You're like, click. You can jump off, because I'd rather work with the one or two willing than the many that are like, I'm not ready for this. So let's pick it up. Let's freaking dive in. What do you want to dig into first?
Let's see. What do you guys want? Do you want to go over? I know inviting and the fear of being salesy was an issue for a lot of us. Everybody is afraid of. Well, Vito, I've heard you talk about it a gazillion times, and I think that holds the people back a lot. So if you want to talk about that, that'd be great.
So you've heard me talk about it a lot of times. Have you shared it with them and they're just like, screw you, I don't want to watch this video, I don't want to listen to this, or what? Because the thing, we have talked about that a bunch of times, and we really got to look at why is that still an issue with people, especially considering like it's just weird. I got to be honest. It's just like, when you're like, but I'm like, you people buy things, right? You guys buy shit. Or you like nudists? Like, did you stitch those clothes together yourselves? And you're like, I grow everything myself. I've never bought food. I make my own clothes. I actually ride a bicycle, and I made the bicycle myself. Like, you buy shit, right? Can everybody be like, yes, I buy stuff? Do you? Yeah. Are you like, you son of a bitch at Calvin Klein? I know my ass looks better, but I hate you. I hate you, you salesy son of a bitch. You sold me these jeans, or you sold me that car. Well, cars, sometimes, yes, people can have a bad connotation about that. You're just shopping at the wrong car place. But sales is a normal part of everyday life. It actually keeps our economy going, and it keeps the world moving forward too. So if sales become bad, we're done. We're done. As a society, as a world, we're done. So let's just tackle this from many fun angles. How many of you are looking at this business where you're like, this is my mission, my vision. This is how I plan on making a difference in the world. Or you're just like, I hope to sell and schlag a bunch of shakes around. And when that gets boring and people say no to me, I'm going to move on to the next thing. And the next thing I'm going to be into is candles. Candles will be the next thing I'm into. And candles are what really or I'm going to move on to a jewelry business because that'll be easier because I made a couple sales with family for about 10, 15 people before that got tough and people start saying no to me there too. So then I jumped over to I sell flowers and you just keep bouncing around in life versus seeing something all the way through. Because you're choosing to look at what you offer to people is your way of changing the world. How many of you view it that way? Or it's just products that you're like, this, honestly, I never sat down and thought about, is this my vision? Is this my mission? And why do I even want this business that deep? Because then you won't give a shit about the sales part. If you had the cure for cancer, I mean, you guys are how many of you have been through 3.0?
I have.
3. Are these all new coaches 3 months or 4 months under the business?
No.
Say that again?
No.
Yeah, there might be a couple. Who's new coaches? Who's under 3 months in the business? Okay, that's 2. Get a pass on this. Caitlin and who's that? Deb?
I did it.
Yeah. Okay, the rest of you, I could potentially, where do you all live? Bethany, get me an address because I'm going to show people's houses and that won't be fun because who I'm going to tell the story to is their kids. I'm like, sit down, kids. I got a hilarious story for you about why people struggle in life. Now, if you haven't made this switch, part of it could also be none of you, I'm gonna grossly generalize here, but if you can't complete the trainings, you can't be successful in this business. Not because for the number one reason that you're not gonna ever develop the skill to get good at this business. Barring any of you came out of the womb, Beachbody coaches, or you came out salesmen, or you came out something, none of you were born that way. The way we all got good at this business is we decided to start learning it because it mattered to us. So if you can't get through a rock the basics, the first thing I'd say is you better get some clarity of your vision. Because you don't have a vision for what you want for your life yet. And I don't know what each one of your whys are. It could be I wanted to just get home and spend more time with my kids. That's a surface level why today. It's not deep. I don't know if you've ever heard me talk on the National Wake Up Call. It's the same thing when people say, why do you want to do this challenge program? I want to lose weight. Yeah, sweet. You could talk to a zero-size model and she wants to lose weight because her own psychology or self-esteem still sees her as once the fat chick or this and that. Those are if you can't even take that as a response from your challengers because that won't hold them in the darkest hours. When this shit gets tough, that won't hold them in their challenge. For you guys, if you just I want to spend time with my kids and be home and whatnot, and then you're not doing the work, you don't like your kids. Simple as that. Because you're like, fuck it, man. I don't want to learn this business. I don't want to take the time to learn this business. I said I want to be home with them, but I'm so busy and empty at the end of the day instead of purposeful and happy. Because you're like, every time I don't go through a rock the basics, or every time I don't take action, every time I don't take behavior, I'm like, just push it back another week before you're home with your kids. And that means you're just like, I don't really want to be home with them that soon. Maybe they're 3 years old and you're like, you're actually a little bit of a shit right now. And I did want that, and I do want to, but only when you become around 8. When you're 8 or 9 years old, I think I want to be around you more. Right now, you're a little pain in my ass. I'm figuring out how to actually be away from you more. So I'm not going to focus on this business so I can go get a job. Because then I could turn to my husband or my wife and be like, you know what? We're not making ends meet. We're not doing whatever. I got to go get a job. So we got to figure out daycare for the kids, or you take them on this night, and let's make that stress in our lives. But at least you've got them 3 nights a week and I'm out 4 times a day. because I'm working my job. Otherwise, you would be busting your ass to make that reality happen sooner if that was the deep-seated why. You'd be like, damn right, I want to be home with my kids. And every single freaking day that I'm not, I feel a tug on my heart. I feel like I'm losing a piece of my soul. I'm losing the precious days and years that I have with them before they become 18 and want nothing to do with me. So you know what? I got to get serious about this business. I don't cancel on Power Hour. I don't have a freaking problem going through Rock the Basics because you got effing clarity about how you want your life to be and what you want it to look like. So first thing I'd be like, if you're struggling with anything, is get clear on your vision and why you really want it, and make it a real North Star. Make it a real reason. And you guys should hold each other's feet to the fire a little bit more. When you say, I want to be home with my kids, or I want to leave a job, I'd be like, really? Why? How bad do you want it? Tell me why it's important to you. What's it going to do that? Awesome, good. What'd you say, why again? Why? Yeah, really? One more time, how's it important to you? One more time. I would keep digging in until the person's a puddle of tears on the floor, shaking, reaching for like a wine injection in their freaking skull to just be like, I need this pain to go away. And because I want this pain to go away so bad, I will get damn serious about what it takes to build this business. Because if you've got that, I want it easy, it's got to come to me right now. If I don't get the quick results mindset, go join the other mediocre people on the couch in life. I mean, like, you know, I always try to tell people, I'm like, you got to kind of look at certain things in life, and you got to be like, sit back and scale back a little bit bigger than just sometimes our own life, and be like, look at the trend across, we'll use America right now. We're like, why are there so many people that are dissatisfied, don't like their jobs, don't like their lives, aren't happy with the money that they're making, aren't happy with the time they get off? Could it just be that everybody wants a fucking easy life? Everybody doesn't want to do the work. People aren't being taught how to think about these things. People rather just be like, please give me what I want instead of me going out and earning what I want. And we have an epidemic of mindset problems. And then, oh, crap. Hold on. I got to get this door because Anna's away. Give me 1 second. Bethany, keep rolling.
Well, I am really thinking about my one-on-one call with him next week. No, I love, you know, I mean, it's just brutally honest. I mean, we say we want this stuff, but do we truly go through the motions of what we really want? And he is one of those people that won't let you just slide through the cracks, and, you know, he's going to hold your feet to the fire. So he is totally, loves to tell it like it is. And when he gets back on, you remember in the chat down at the bottom, if you have any questions, you know, make sure you type it out for him. And if they're, after he gets off the topic of what are we talking about? Because I think I said I'm really clarity.
If it wasn't a wine delivery, I would not have gotten up.
It was a wine.
Then they're like, if I miss them, because you have to sign for wine, they'll take it back. I gotta wait for another day. I was just like, that's 4 bottles of Silvestri wine. I must go get this now.
Your excuse for that. Carry on.
Priorities, people. It's all about priorities, you see?
Yes.
I've busted my ass in life to have wine delivered.
That's right.
Whenever I want it.
That's right.
So, does that make sense? Sometimes you got to really look at, why aren't more people successful in life? It usually starts all in here. And most of it will just come down to a lack of commitment. It's a lack of commitment. And they won't get committed to something if they don't have the reason why, and it's not real. And then, I mean, you guys have dealt with it with your challengers, where you're like, why can't you finish the effing program? And you want to yell at them and be like, come on, man, can't you just finish the freaking program so you get the result, so you get the what? But do you ever ask yourself why you can't finish or rock the basics so you get the freaking result that you want? You ever turn the finger at yourself and look at the reason you're getting the results that you're getting could be just because you're lazy. It could be you're just I don't want to do it. It could be that you're just like, I haven't figured this out. I haven't gotten serious enough yet. I haven't got committed. You got to start asking yourself, what level of commitment do I want in order to get the things that I want? Because then you'll put the excuses and the complaints and all that aside. I remember when Gary Vaynerchuk spoke to us, he spoke to us at the guys conference. He wasn't this big of a douche at Team Rockstar Fit Summit. At the men's conference, he was like, he didn't mince words, because there he could curse and he could do whatever he wanted there. And he was just literally like, he's just like, number one way I can tell when somebody isn't going to be successful is the minute they have excuses or complaints, they're done. I can already tell that that person doesn't have what it takes to be successful, because they're blaming all the external things versus understanding it's you. You have all the ability to control all the results that you want in life. You have the ability to go out and get exactly what you want. Most people just don't want to work that hard. It's hard to get through rock the basics. It's hard to be like, you know what? I feel salesy when I'm saying this, and it's just not coming out good. And now I feel awkward about it. And I'm always just like, well, my question is, how many books did you, who's ever felt salesy? Who's the person that feels salesy? Who is that? Susan. Perfect. Susan, how many books on sales have you read?
0.
Yeah. So you're like, I don't really give a shit about getting better at sales. I'm just going to say, I feel salesy and I don't want to go learn it. So that's it. It's not coming natural. Screw it. Not meant to do it. Let me find the next thing. Or you sit down and you're like, this matters. This business matters. And that lifestyle that I want matters. And those dreams that I want matter enough for me to be like, one of the skills I need to develop, because we weren't born with this, it's learnable though, is I got to learn how to just start communicating and articulating my message or my value proposition or whatever it is in a way that doesn't make me feel salesy. So how about I carve out, that's what goes on your agenda, where you're like, start studying sales and marketing, because I don't want to feel salesy, because I want more people to take the products that I have, because then I could possibly save more freaking lives. And if I save more lives, you know what's going to happen? The world's going to give me the reward I deserve because I earned it back. But most people don't follow it all the way through that chain. They're just like, I got to know. I'm not good at this. I feel salesy. I hate this. People are saying no to me. And they start crying. That makes sense? So when somebody's just not good at something, I'm always just like, well, how much did you study it? How much did you put that on your agenda? See, like leadership, even where you're like, man, I'm struggling with my team. We're going through this with another coach's thing where, you know, the coach is constantly being like, nobody on my team wants it. Nobody on my this and that. And I'm like, once it's nobody, I'm like, it's you. It ain't nobody. And it ain't everybody. It's you. And you're struggling with your leadership. I'm like, how many leadership books do you read? Or courses or seminars or whatever it is? None? What'd you read last? The 4 Agreements? Yay, that's a feel-good book. Don't get me wrong. Love that book. Has nothing to do with leadership. So you're aiming at the wrong skill, which is why you're not getting better at the thing that you need to get the result that you want. Now, the great thing, Susan and everyone else on this, and Susan, thanks for being open and honest and vulnerable about sharing that. It takes a lot to put yourself out on the line like that, to allow everybody to learn from that. So speaks tons for the fact that you're willing to do that. But oftentimes when I look at somebody with that, or somebody that's struggling with that, I'm like, we've never been taught this whole kind of idea about like, when I can't figure something out, what do I do? There's a process that you all got to start like, and this like, I teach this in my other brand. I probably got to think about teaching it in this brand. But first, most people lack vision. They don't even know what they want their life to look like: home life, work life, travel life, what they want their bank accounts to look like, what they want their health to look like, what they want their freaking freedom to look like. Most people never sit down and do that. They just end up in life. And they're just like, I kind of ended up here. I even ended up in this relationship, this marriage. I somehow ended up with 5 kids. I have no idea how. I just didn't understand what birth control was at some point. I just don't know what. And now I'm bitching about having 5 kids But you're like, really? You had 5 kids. You're not allowed to bitch about it. You made a choice about it. Choice is the great equalizer of bitching. You're like, oh, you chose to do that? No bitching allowed. Now, just deal with it. It's your challenge. But most people never sit down and look at what the hell do I even want my life to look like? I want my business to look like, my brand, all those things. So you got to start with getting clarity of the vision and why you want that. And if it's not something deep, the first hiccups, the first problems, you'll start giving up on it. But I mean, you guys have looked at enough people in life, or you've seen enough television shows, enough movies to realize that giving up doesn't really work. As to being like, wow, look at all the times I've given up in life, and yet I'm still not happy with how my life is. It could just be, and I'm spitballing here, it could just be don't give up on shit. It could actually just be stay committed, stay consistent, keep following through, get better. And when you stop giving up on shit, you get better at it, and all of a sudden, guess what? You get results. And then when you get results, you build your confidence. When you get confident, you're like, shit, I want to do more. I want to get even better. You keep getting even better. You keep getting more results. And all of a sudden, you're in that classic Tony Robbins competence competency loop. But every time you give up, you chop block that from behind. So work on your commitment level, get that vision, get that why. Then from there, get more specific about the goals that you want. You can't set goals until you know what you want your life to look like. And this isn't just about business. This should be about your marriages, your family, your wealth, your freedoms, and all the things that you want out there. But a lot of people try to jump to a goal before they even know what they really want. And then it's just like, I want diamond. I want this. And you're like, why do you even want that? It's just a stupid rank. It doesn't mean anything until you give it meaning. Until you give it the meaning of like, I have 8 people who I am helping live their dreams. And I'm teaching them to go give other people the opportunity to live their dreams and to have a business on their own terms, to never have a job taken away from them, to decide how much they want to earn that. When all of a sudden I'm giving you guys my stuff, but until you give it that meaning, that emotion, that depth, you don't know what the goals mean, and then you're willing to let goals go all the time. But once you got those goals and you got some clarity of them, and even breaking down those goals as to why do I want that goal? What does it mean? What will it feel like? Now you're adding some meat to it. Then you can sit back and be like, well, what has been in the way? What's the roadblock that's keeping me from doing that? So using Susan's example here, she's like, a roadblock in my way is I don't like feeling salesy, and I keep feeling salesy every time I do it. But now we understand, there's clarity of the roadblock. It's like we took the sheet off of it, we named it, we gave it, we brought it out of the dark, and we put it in front of us, and we're like, there's the roadblock. I remember for me when I was trying to get out of the studio world and all that, and I knew I wanted to build online business brands, I was like, I don't know launches. And launches are a key part of the business. So I had to be like, I don't know that piece. So that's a roadblock. I'm able to write that down in my journals and stuff. This is a roadblock in my way from achieving the goals that I want, where I know how to launch a product online. That's a freaking roadblock. So you guys got to work through, what are the roadblocks in the way? Because when you know the roadblocks, you can start then being like, well, what's the skill I need to overcome that roadblock so I can move past it? The worst thing that people do is just random shit. And they don't aim at anything. And they just don't take the time to sit down literally with just pen and paper. The 2 strongest business building tools are still just this shit. And your time. And your kids on Benadryl so that you have some quiet, so that you're like, okay, now I can actually focus for a few minutes and start figuring out what are my roadblocks and going deep on them and being real about them, not being surface about them, because then you got them. And then you're able to be like, okay, I think I've seen people learn how to sell. So that means it's a skill. That means it's coachable. Now, just do I care enough to put that down and be like, must learn to sell better, market better, be a better high performer, blah, 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 whatever the hell the thing is. But now you're like, now I know what skill to aim at. So that instead of a random personal development, you're like, this is the fucking roadblock in my way right now. So this is what I'm going to spend all my focus on, because if I overcome that roadblock, I open up my ability to achieve those goals. Then I'm marching towards that vision that I want. Does that make sense? So then you're like, now I know the skill. Where people can get caught is they're like, well, nowadays, if you know what skill you need to go find and you don't know where to go find for help, there's this thing called Google. It's new. Most people just don't know how to use it for anything besides weird shit. But you sit down and you use your opposable thumbs and fingers to start typing in how to get better at sales, how to freaking figure out product launches. That's how I found Jeff Walker. How to do product launches. Jeff Walker's name came up. And I'm like, oh, this guy has a course on product launches. I'm going to take that course. That $2,000 investment and that time of just figuring that out has led to 7 figures in my life. One thing. But most people just like I had a burning reason why. I was just like, I don't actually have $2,000 to invest in that course. I am going to sell one of my kidneys. Not really, but I overmaxed out my credit cards once again in my life and whatnot. But there's nothing like urgency under your ass to get that stuff freaking moving. So maybe you also got to look at, what do I got to do to put urgency in getting stuff done? Hence why I'm like, we talk about that whole how to not feel salesy and how to do the customer cube and thing like that. And I talk about that from a summit I did 3 or 4 years ago, but the training is still in freaking 3.0 because we're like, the shit hasn't changed. People still need to hear that same message. But those of you that haven't gotten through 3.0 never heard that message and don't know how to think about, if you had the cure for cancer, would you give a shit about being salesy? Or would you be running around to every corner and being like, I got the cure for cancer? And if somebody's like, you salesy son of a bitch, you'd be like, fuck you, go die in a corner. I have the cure for cancer. We actually don't need you, and I need to help all these people. Get the fuck out of my way. That's how you'd be, because you're like, I'm doing good in the world. And I don't care what you feel. Your opinion doesn't pay my bills. What you think doesn't give me my dreams. What I do does. Now, some people, that hits them and they're like, that totally makes sense to me. I'm going to quickly get over that stupid salesy thing because sales equals serving. And then some will just still have excuses and reasons why they want to throw up walls. But if you haven't heard that message, you potentially are still struggling with the way to think about these things just because, whoa, Susan ruining things right away. That you just may have never been open to that perspective, had that challenge thrown in your life, been taught how to think. And those of you that have gotten a 4.0, you don't know that we teach influence and persuasion and have a 12-week high performance core because you haven't earned it. To be truthful, you haven't earned to get that level of coaching yet because you're still stuck back on just, I can't figure out my why and why I want to get through this. Yeah, I can't figure out how not being consistent, not running my challenges every month is literally like saying, screw you, I hope people die of obesity this month. And you have the ability in your hands to go save people's lives from obesity, from unhappiness, from diabetes, from whatever. There's so many reasons. Even this business, I look at every time I'm not promoting or marketing this business, I'm letting people die a slow death of being belligerent in a job and in a world where they're like, I don't get to live my freedoms. I get a 2 to 4% raise a year. I have to ask permission to take my kid to the doctor. I'm like, that sucks in life. At least my opinion. I'm very opinionated. But I also look at people's satisfaction levels of what they say about their lives. And I'm like, cool, I have the ability to drop ship freedom into people's lives. and I can drop ship the cure for obesity, the cure for being broke. So it gives that purpose, makes me sit down and do this work where I'm like, all right, so now if I know the roadblock, I know the skill I need, well, maybe right now I just got to reach out and find the people that can help me with that. Because I mean, the reality is many people just aren't surrounded by positive people, optimistic people. They're often surrounded by a bunch of douchebags, a bunch of negative people, people that are hacking at their dreams. So they just don't ever know. Or the person that's just like that person, like Jeff Walker, I was like, that's the name that everybody is talking about when it comes to product launches. So now I know the person to go get in my life. And I had to first do a course. Then I got to attend an event. Then I got into his mastermind and I followed the whole process to be immersed in it. Well, let's pretend this. Susan could be like, well, I want to learn sales. So maybe I'm going to find a sales book. I don't know what it is or what thing I should start. So who's really good at this stuff? Well, one, I mean, Bethany might be a natural Success Club machine. It just could be some whack thing, or she's figured it out. She's learned. Like I wasn't natural. I went and was just like, all right, I heard this Michael Port guy is really good at freaking sales stuff. So I'm going to read Michael Port's Book Yourself Solid. And then maybe I'll do one of his courses or do whatever. And honestly, at this point, I've read dozens of books on sales because I'm like, for the rest of my life as a business owner, I have to sell in order to move my mission forward. So that makes it on my, and if you're like, I don't know where to find that, go find somebody. Be like, hey, Vito, do you know anybody that does sales? Do you know anybody that teaches this? You go ask somebody so that you don't dick around with a lot of lost time and you get the help that you need. And then you can get clear on the action steps. But you have to work through that whole process to get to the action steps last, so that you're doing the right things. There's nothing worse than speeding off in the wrong direction. Lord knows I've done that many times on a highway. In life, you don't want to do that. You want to be like, if I'm going to be taking action steps, well, it better be with the people I need, the skills I need to overcome the roadblocks I need to achieve the goals that I want, to live the vision and the purpose that I want. Oh, damn, I actually had to start in the reverse order. I needed to start with the clarity of the vision to work all the way down to the action steps. Does that make sense? So that's the stuff that you guys got to kind of run yourself through there to be like, you know, if you're getting discouraged with no's and whatnot, good. Well, I don't want to say good that you're getting discouraged. I want to say good that you're getting no's, because that's like the saw you need to sharpen your skills with. If everything came easy, you would never get better and you'll always be mediocre. It's supposed to come hard. You've never read a biography of anybody's. You've never looked at like the classic, like Abraham Lincoln, 6 times denied this, denied that before he finally became president. But why? Because he had a belief. He had a vision. He was committed to it. He stayed consistent and he never gave up. And then he became president. Awesome. Helen Keller, you never heard her story about she's blind, deaf, and this and that. And yet she didn't bitch. She didn't do whatever. She just went to fucking work. And she had a reason. She was trying to change the world. So that's why when people laughed at her or did whatever, she's just like, 2 good things. I can't see you and I can't hear you, you douchebag. Perfect. I'll just march towards my vision. Probably the word douchebag didn't exist back then, but it's a lot funnier when you drop it in there, because it'd be funny if it was, but probably wasn't. But if you're dealing with, I can't be motivated and things like that, the best motivation of all, and this is a common thing, because, you know, it's easy to get motivated for a short time, and we teach this in 4.0, but heightened and sustained levels of motivation, that's what's hard. That's what's hard. I just listened to a good song. I'm motivated right now. I'm going to go work for an hour, but now tomorrow, today I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm a disaster. Bam, I won't work my business for 5 days. Somebody said no to me. Because back to what gets you out of bed should be your purpose, your mission, the vision. But if you don't have clarity on that, you just think you're working a job. You just think you're doing some sales. This is a convenient thing for you when it's it's working. When it's not, you bag out. Well, I would challenge you, all of you, go find me anybody that you can tell me their story and show me as a case study that they bagged out on life and they bagged out on stuff and they're a freaking screaming success right now. I'm not talking they have a job. I don't even care if it's a 6-figure job, but they hate it. That doesn't count. Somebody that's happy and fulfilled in their life. Show me one person that did that by being unmotivated, not being patient, not being consistent, giving into being discouraged. Show me one of those, and I'll change all this. If you can't go find any one of those, it could just be, it's the opposite of all that. Stay motivated. Stay encouraged. It's meant to be tough. It's not meant to be convenient. You've got to be patient. You must be consistent, and you must be committed. There's all the, I mean, it's not, here's a tactic on how you can get a better Facebook ad, or here's a sales line you can use with that prospect. Those are good. Tactics are good, but those will change. What never will is the way we operate as human beings and the way we think as human beings and the human psychology that we just talked about there, and the process to creating a clear vision for your life. That will never change. The only question is, are you going to insert yourself into that formula and go do it? The only way you do that is if it matters to you. Does this matter to you? Do you want this? Are you willing to dig through it? I would suggest as an action step, what's today, Monday? It started today. Go get your asses into a rock the basics, and don't just go through it. Fucking devour it. Wood chipper it into your brain. You'd be like, right in. Show up for it. Be on the group Zooms. Do whatever you gotta do to be like, I'm gonna freaking eat, sleep, breathe, and poop this thing out until I can do that piece, and then I'm moving on to the next one. And then I'm moving on to the next one. As many as they have until I've done them all, because then I can turn around to the people that I say, hey, want me to show you how to do this business? And you can do it with some integrity, and you can do it with the ability to coach them, because otherwise don't go, if you can't finish a rock the basics, don't bring anybody on your team, because you lack the, and then that you're going to convince that person to be like, come on, we can build this business. I have no fucking idea what it does. I don't really know how to help you. I'm just going to say, hey, Bethany, where do I log in for that thing? And what's that thing about this? And then Bethany's life is a disaster trying to run around wiping ass. High performance is never about wiping ass. So get in there, master the shit, so that when you're done, you're like, I got into freaking 3, and get into 4.0, where I get 12 weeks of this kind of belligerent on you. And then it's just nothing but fun for 12 weeks where we do this. It's perfect. But you come out the person that's ready to be a high performer in your life and go chase down your dreams, and then you're equipped to do it. This isn't taught in school. This isn't taught in our education system. This isn't taught at churches. This isn't taught at the local freaking meetings. Most of our parents don't know how to teach this. This is the skill that we try to bring to you guys because we went and studied high performance, so we can turn around and be like, this is an education that is of today. This is how we learn today. We put ourselves in this kind of a group environment with people that genuinely care, that want it, that are hungry. We dig in. We realize it's not always going to be great and perfect. There'll be tears. There'll be mistakes. There'll be everything in between. But we accept that as a part of the journey for the price of living our dreams. Otherwise, everybody would live in their dreams. But the fact that they're not is because they're not willing to do all the stuff that we laid out here. Are you willing to do it? It's got to be the question. And then now I took a screenshot of all you. So if I don't see you guys in 4.0 by January, I'll publicly shame all of you on your social media, every one of you. As a group photo, I'll be like, look at this, 3 of them made it, 4 didn't. Join down here by saying, suckers, you need wipe ass in, butt wipe in, this and that. It's not fun. And I drink a lot of wine, so I do that shit when I'm usually like, now I've got a lot of funny shit to say. It's not good. It's not good. So instead, get your asses into 4.0, get through 4.0. Let's build leaders. Do you guys understand that you all hold each other's dreams on one another's back? You're a team. This is a network marketing company. Every single one of you actually can contribute to each other's wealth and income and happiness. And when you don't, you're just saying, screw you, I don't want to help you live your dreams. I hope you just let me live mine. But if all of you put in that effort, how much faster you grow is astronomical. I can't even tell you guys what the compounding effect of this business is, because you won't be happy if I share with you like the journey of it, because you'd be like, I'm not seeing those same results. Be like, you probably aren't busting your ass as hard as I freaking did. But I'm nobody special. I'm just willing to grind, and I'm willing to do it smarter. And I have a different mindset, and I have a really good attitude and a really good belief about this. And that's always made the difference, because I don't have the best skills in the world. I just keep working at them. Same with Trina, same with Bethany, same with freaking Anna. All the top people, they're just working. Like Bethany is frustrated with something. So what does she do? If you look at what we just walked through, she's just like, I got to figure this out because this freaking thing matters to me. And I'm frustrated and struggling with some stuff because, you know, I feel like I'm stuck in a certain thing. So what should you do? Roadblock. I'm stuck with this shit. Roadblock. She's like, I need to get better at this. Well, people, who do I turn to? I'm going to turn to Vito and see if like his douchiness can help my team a little bit. Boom. Awesome. And I'm like, this girl busts her ass all the freaking time. Hell yeah, I'll do it for her. And jump on. So she followed that process. Vision. I got a goal of helping my team get better. I am freaking stuck somewhere with a roadblock. I need some better leadership skills and thinking through how to challenge my coaches a little bit better and throw down the gauntlet a little bit more, not be so easy on my coaches. I got to freaking kick them in the ass sometimes. And who does that really well? Vito does that really well. Let me see if I can have him come on once and then see what I can learn from that. And then I'm going to go turn around and take action on it. Whether she recognized it or not, she did that whole process. And now you guys have the formula to do it as well. As long as it matters to you, you'll get it done. Cool? Does that help? Hopefully? Isn't that?
Yes, very much. Very much.
Awesome. I'll open it if you guys want some laser coaching on stuff. I've got questions on anything. I got about 10 more minutes I can dig in here with you guys. So more than happy to dig in there. Hopefully that process, though, hit each of you in your own personal way, that you're like, I see where I need to apply that. And what I would do is reach out and be like, hey, one, we're going to teach this year. Trina and I were talking about this. We're going to teach a little bit about downlines being as bought into the culture of how they fit into their uplines goals, as well as the upline and the downline. Because if you don't see how you fit into the picture of your uplines goals, you won't be able to your downline, who won't then care about your goals. And then the chain breaks because we always feel like, oh, it's just about you. It's just about you. But the mindset, even though in our side mindset, is like, I must give always to the others. But I'm still always aware of like, Trina, where you want to go? Okay. And I know where I fit in that. Perfect. And we operate at a different speed of trust because we know each other's goals, up, down, across, in every direction. You have that mindset to care about up, down, across, diagonal, even if they're not in your freaking downline. Just watch the coaches that have that mindset over those that don't. Mathematically, it shows up in the bank account. Shows up in the bank account. I would start finding out right now, what do you got to do? Get serious about that and report into Bethany by, boom, this is my vision. Boom, this is what I want. These are the goals, and this is why I want it. And I'll give you the permission to kick me in the ass, reach out to Vito and publicly shame me if I'm not sticking to this. If I can't finish or rock the basics, if I can't do whatever, I'm willing to say it down. Because when you publicly state things and you put them down, out on paper, out in public, it holds a different level of urgency in you. Be like, this is it, and this is what I'm stuck. This is what I need to learn. And can you help me figure that out? If not, where do I turn to? How do I get surrounded by those people? These are going to be my action steps. And just work on what we call a 3 in 30. Just 3 action steps in 30 days. Not 100. 3 action steps that will drive you towards, maybe you got a health goal, a wealth goal, and an adventure family goal. And you're like, I want to do this for my own fitness, my own conditioning. I want to do this goal for my business and my brand and my income and whatever. And I want to do this for my happiness with my family, my relationships, whatever it is. And you pick one major thing in that and you tack it 3 ways for 30 days. Don't go crazier than that, because if you condition that, you're like, I did that. Do it again. Just keep working in 30-day blocks. And then all of a sudden, you're starting to string together, I did it for 3 months. I did it for a whole quarter of the year. And eventually you start to be able to develop, how do I stick to stuff for a year, etc. Most people it's tough for people to think about a year, 2-year, 3-year plans when they've never been trained on 90-day and 30-day. Well, to get to the 90-day, work on 30-day blocks. Once you start getting that, you get good at 90-day blocks. We always work in 90-day blocks, but we've also started to look at the long picture of what we're doing from 1 year. I never think further than 3 years because I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'll be in 3 years. But got some plan in there? Some good stuff for you guys to work on?
Yes, very much. Yes.
Awesome. Anything in particular, questions or anything on that? Otherwise, you guys are like, oh, thank God he's done.
Someone said something. No?
I thought somebody did.
Can you hear me?
Oh, Brianna. Yes.
So I guess my biggest challenge right now is people in their Herbalife. I know that I've talked to Caitlin about this, and she's given me some good links to help kind of get familiar with Herbalife versus Shakeology and Beachbody. But, I'm still getting, people seem to prefer Herbalife. I know that it definitely, gets you the results. Me personally, I can't take Herbalife like other people because, it's a weight loss product. And thankfully for me, I never have to lose weight. I have to gain it. So I have to actually drink it. So the Shakeology is actually better for me because it's more, gives me the nutrients I need as opposed to trying to lose weight. And that's kind of the thing I try to tell people is why I use it versus, I guess, why they should use it.
Well, hold on one second, Brianna. The question is also like, what is that person after? And why do they look at Herbalife? What are they trying to do? I would ask more questions about so what is Herbalife giving you? And what have you been struggling with in your life? Health, whatever the thing is. Because you can't just give an answer to them without being like, well, what's the issue? Because I mean, obviously, you can break down, by the way, just pure, where are you? There you are. Just pure ingredient research. Have you ever done the ingredient research on Herbalife?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Caitlin sent me a couple links as far as, Shakeology versus Herbalife. And I know everybody I talk to, it's because they want to lose weight and they see all their friends. It's a huge thing here in Maine right now where I live. Herbalife is like a huge thing, and it's hard to get a hold of somebody before they even get Herbalife. And then it's hard to get them to switch from Herbalife to, and I don't always focus on shakes either. I focus on also the workout is important as well.
100%. So, I mean, there's multiple angles to come at this from. And I personally don't typically go like, hey, look at this one compared to this one. Mm-hmm. I first just start with general stuff about I'm like, have you done the ingredient research on that?
No, I have not.
I don't mean as in you, I'm kind of role playing. That's funny.
Oh.
You see how easy it is when you just ask a question, a person just is like, I must answer. I am compelled to answer, even though he's just role playing this fucking question right now.
Hypothetical.
That's the power of the question process. And we teach that in 4.0, by the way. Now.
Oh, I'm not there yet.
Do you guys understand the importance of 4.0 yet? Have I drilled that deep enough? But point being, I would always be just one, so what is Herbalife doing for you? Is it you love the ingredients? Is it you love doing 9-10 bottles a day? And you're like, that's convenient for my life. Please line up 9 bottles. And I love taking fucking pills all day. I'm like, or is it you're like, I only want the weight loss. I don't care how I get it. I just want the weight loss. And that's how bad you want it. Which of those is it? So one, I don't have to like, I get to, by asking a question, I'm also positioning certain things where I'm like, have you checked out the ingredient research? What about that did you like? Which of the chemicals in there did you like? And then I'm like, hey, you love like doing 9-10 bottles. I'm like, what part of that is really convenient in your life that you love that? Or is it you're just willing, you have the mindset of I'll do anything to lose weight. Whether I'm going to be able to sustain that or not doesn't matter. Now the question comes back to them having to answer those questions in whatever ways they want to, whatever things. But now we're having a conversation. I don't even give a shit about selling them on Shakeology. I need to question the thought process first, because the issue is this mindset of I'll do anything to lose weight and to keep up with other people, no matter what. I'll buy any shit product and I will inconvenience my life because of what? And then I'd be like, why do you want to lose weight so bad? Why is it just about the weight loss? Why does it have nothing to do with the chemicals you put in, the ingredients that you put in, the convenience to your life, the sustainability? Why is it that way? That's where I would be going with this question, not about defending Shakeology or selling it. I'd be like, I need to understand why you only give a shit about weight loss to the actual detriment of your health. Why do you have that mindset? What happened in your life? Did something happen? Was your mom really overweight? Was it something like that? Did kids pick on you when you were small or whatnot? Did a boyfriend tell you were fat and ugly and you always had sex in the dark? What is it? Help me understand that. And I know that's tough, but that's actually my role as a fitness professional and a fitness coach, is to challenge the mind. Like, people haven't been doing this shit, doing crappy ingredients. That hasn't been going on. And we have an obesity epidemic. We have people that are bulimic, anorexic, dealing with this, running to surgeries, running to whatever. There's a problem with the way we think about this. So for you, Brianna, I would potentially be writing a blog, shooting a video, and I'd be tackling the question to your tribe about fat loss at any cost, ? That would be the name of the blog. That would be the name of the video. And I'd be like, what's wrong with the fact that we're willing to get fat loss at any price? Is it because we have to look like ladies on Cosmopolitan magazine? Is it because we got to look like the ladies in Penthouse? Is it because we got to frickin' just keep up with the Joneses? Is it because what is it? Where did we get this? You know, as a fitness coach, I'm often dealing with people that are willing to take any pill, any injection, anything to do that. And yet they're often not happier when they get the body that way. And then what they did to get there, usually you can't keep it going. We've seen the numbers. We know the research. We know the stats. But yet we still go. Could it be that fat loss at any cost, that's an American problem? That's why we're not getting where we want to. So I challenge back sometimes, or maybe help me understand and comment below, why fat loss at any cost? Now you're opening up a conversation. Now you also get a chance to start positioning yourself as an authority, as a thought leader, as an expert, as a motivator, an inspirer, a challenger to the way we think. And you'll get people, you bitch, you da-da-da. It is just about fat loss. And you'll be like, awesome, bring it on. Tell me what's wrong with you. Then there'll be those that'll be like, girl, you're so right. I used to do that as a kid and I scrambled from thing to thing. And you're going to just start getting the people that follow the way you think and are like, I think that's going to be the person that helps me. That person gets me more. That person understands what I'm going through. And I don't know if I ever thought about it that way. I'm going to keep watching what she says. I might not be ready today, but I'm going to keep watching what she says. And that's how we also nurture relationships and how we can scale ourselves talking without being like, you can only have that conversation with so many people around Maine before you're like, I'm saying the same shit to all of you. And it's just time I take this message on a bigger scale, so that I can reach more people. Now you're like doing more than selling a shake or trying to defend a shake. Instead, you're educating people how to think, and you're helping move them to making the best decision for themselves by nurturing a relationship and educating them. And being open to the fact that, people are going to have things to say. Doesn't make a difference. Makes sense around the house. That's how you develop content. That's how you guys can start thinking about what you put out on your social media more. And in whatever platforms you use, you should hopefully all be, for most part, I'm looking at most of you, Facebook is probably going to be a number one platform for most of you as I look at this group. Instagram is probably another major one. You should all eventually develop email. I would highly encourage you all to have a YouTube channel so that when you make videos, you got a place to house them. I wouldn't go any crazier than that right now because all of those are free for the most part, outside of an email like server type thing, like Active Campaign, which is like, I don't know, $29, $39 a month type thing. You can do all that rest of that stuff for free on all of those platforms. And basically that's correct. Whoever just said that, you are all older as I look at your demographic. Yep, you're all at least 30 or up probably, maybe a few aren't, but too bad, you're getting older anyway.
I was thinking the same thing, but that's why I don't use Snapchat. I mean, my people are not on Snapchat.
Mine either. I don't even bother with Snapchat. Like Kim is trying to get me to do it, and I just struggle the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I'm willing to do Instagram stories. And
I accidentally Snapchatted a picture of like a multicolored beanie, and my husband picked up my phone and was like, "What is this?" Like, I don't know.
I don't understand it, but it's us old people are not there. So, you know.
I mean, your tribe's probably the people that you're also trying to market to.
Yes.
Aren't there yet, or that really hasn't developed for where they're at and whatnot. But it's what I want you guys to take away is how those common struggles, and so think about all the reasons that people have said no to you for Shakeology, and instead of being frustrated with it and being discouraged by it, get fired up by it to be like, I got to go teach people how to think about, let's take the idea of it's too expensive. It's too expensive because I guarantee you, each one of you have gotten 100, it costs too much. So what is that really at the root of? This I'll bargain shop my life away mentality. I will take less quality for more. Or I just don't see the value in it because I don't see the value in my health yet. So then you start to be able to be like, I got an idea for a blog. Bargain shop your life away. How's that work? And you start to be like, I do love a bargain. I'm not going to lie. If I can get a bargain on a pair of jeans or a shirt or a cute top or whatnot, or a pair of sneakers, yeah, those are commodities. Sometimes I'm not willing because when I want to look great for a night out or I want to dress to impress, I don't want the bargain thing. I'm looking sometimes for, I want the prestige. I want the thing. I want whatever it is. But when it comes to my health, my fitness, the thing that keeps me above the ground, that keeps me moving, being able to enjoy my life, I just have never seen the bargain shop your life away. Because today, food's full of chemicals, this, that, water's not clean, air's not clean. Now, most people are like, who cares about all that? Until you get cancer, until you get this and that. And the hardest sale in life is prevention. Nobody buys insurance before they need it. Nobody thinks about their death until it's coming. Nobody worries about, I should have took care of my health before they freaking are in the hospital and they're telling you need these surgeries. And then we wish and we pray that we'd done things different. But prevention's never sold. So instead, let's just bargain shop our lives away. What's up with that? Are you that? Do you do that? Help me figure out why. If you like to bargain shop your life away, comment down below why. And in what situations? Maybe there's right ones, maybe there's wrong ones. But if you're thinking, you know what? I should want more for myself. I should care about what I put in my body. Because it matters how my body performs. and performing in life is more important than bargain shopping your life away. Post. Now you got content for a tribe. Now, I'm making it up off the way you guys all have your own vote, but you take the things that you're going through and you start at the root thought about why that's in the way. You guys have never dealt with the time issue? Never thought about educating your tribe about, like, how many more years do we use time as an excuse about why we don't get there? Ooh, that probably could also be why you guys aren't getting where you want with your businesses. You're using that time excuse. So part of all these things, before you're allowed to go post on them, if you're not doing them yourself, I would highly be careful before you go post out there on that, because role modeling and authenticity and integrity are important. Unless you're willing to be like, you know what? I have been a time excuse maker. And I needed to stop. I haven't gotten to where I want in my own fitness, my own business, my own thing, because I keep using that. And the buck needs to stop somewhere. So I challenge those of you that keep using time. Why? Because you got kids? What? You can't figure that out? You can't figure out a timing schedule? You can't figure this out? If you want it bad enough, you will. I haven't been making time, but you know what I did? Here's a tip I can share with you. I went and asked my husband for help. I said, hey, I need your help on this, because getting my business or my fitness, blah, 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 whatever it is, to the next level is important to me. Because you know what? I want to be around for the kids. I want to see this and that. I want to see us live in our dreams. So I need a little bit of help. 3 times a week, I need you for an extra hour. And you know what? Once I explained it to him, he was like, I got your back, babe. So those of you that are struggling with getting your workout in or getting some peace time for yourselves, just go ask one person for help for 3 hours a week. Now you also taught them something. Now they're like, good freaking tip. I'm going to do that. And then they go do it. And then they're like, this shit worked. So then the next time you share a tip, they're like, that's a good tip too. That's a good tip. Hey, you got a program coming up? Shit, what am I going to learn from you in a program? Now I need to see why I should be with you. Because you showed value all along the way. And you delivered, and you taught, and you educated. Go put that shit in your challenges too. Don't just teach fitness. Don't just teach nutrition. Teach people how to think. Be willing to challenge them. Be willing to call them out. Be willing to talk about the issues about life, happiness, relationships, all that. Because in them thinking, our health and wellness is not just about our bodies and not just about what we eat. It's about how we think, how we act, how we love, how we do all those things. But if they're never hearing this from you, all they hear from you is, here's another exercise. Here's how you do a push-up. Here is how you put a meal plan that is so complicated, you'll probably never do it. And then they're like, great, I can't Google that for free. People can Google exercises. People can Google workout programs. People can freaking Google meal plans, but they can't Google a thought leader. And not all of us speak to the same people. So you have a unique tribe waiting for your unique voice. Go get it out. Go get it out. Use this business to be the platform for it, and you guys will be living your dreams. Cool? Peace. Awesome, ladies. I hope to see you guys in 3.0. When you guys get to 3.0, we'll see you in there. When you get into 4.0, we spend 3 months freaking together and whatnot, and then everything else that we've got freaking cooking out there. So hopefully you guys are getting to live events and you're working to the cool things that we do and whatnot. It was awesome to get to spend a little extra time, get to know some of you and whatnot, so that now I can totally make fun of you when I see stuff and things like that, and watch this grow so you guys can go out there and live your dreams. Cool?
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
so
Vito.
much.
My pleasure. Hey, Bethany, can you send me the recording? I might share that with our charges.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thanks, Vito.
All right, thanks a lot, Vito. We appreciate it. If anybody wants to stay on after he gets off to chat, well, he's off now. So now we can talk about it. No, that's so good stuff. I mean, we talk about it all the time. Value, 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 and adding value to, all your posts. And I love how he gives you think of something you're struggling with. What kind of tip can you give somebody? If they all they see from you every single day is something about a challenge group or, just making your announcement here and there, they're not going to trust you. The way you gain trust with people is by becoming, like he says, the thought leader, becoming the expert in whatever it is that everybody has a unique little niche that they fit into. Find what it is. Who is it that you want to work with? I used to say women, and Vito kept telling me that was just too general. It was too general. And I'm still trying to hone it in and make it a little bit more, and I'm getting a little bit better in that area. But find, if you haven't gone through his training, and it's a free training about creating your avatar and creating that person that you want to work with, you really need to get into that training. And I think I have some of the stuff that I can give you guys. It really, really makes a difference. Add value to people's day. Don't be a walking billboard for Beachbody. Be true to who you are, your likes, what you care about, what you're passionate about. That's what's going to bring the people towards you. That's what's going to get people to trust you. And that's when you're going to see the change. That's why I pull in big Success Club numbers, because I've done that for years over a course of 10 years. So it takes time, it takes patience, it takes consistency and dedication. And when you don't feel like it, showing up. You guys showing up here at 8:30 at night. You could have just said, I'll catch the recording later. I'm tired. I've had a long day at work. I don't feel like it, but you were here. And that's the kind of stuff that makes a difference, is showing up when you don't feel like it, showing up when it's not convenient, showing up when, everything's going against you, when you feel defeated and want to give up. Just keep going and showing up. Kaylin, you got anything else to add in there?
Yes, I was going to say, also, I loved him talking about figuring out what your obstacle is and educating yourself on that. And a lot of you know this because you reached out to us separately, but if Bethany's your upline, you can still reach out to me and vice versa. We have different strengths and different ideas. So we will help in any way that we can. Plug into these extra trainings that we're doing, because we're just adding stuff